Hey, hey, there we go. Looks like we are live. And yes, what an exciting evening. And I'm super excited about tonight. This Chukka Chat is going to be something very cool and 100% is something for the hockey nerds out there. We've got an absolute treat. Our lineup is just awesome. So we just got Chukka 1, we got Justin Grundlingh, we got the ladies' national coach, Robin van Ginkel, we got Marcelle Keet, the SA under 21 ladies coach, we got the guys from Enhanced Sport here, Robert Goslett going to chat to us. My word, if there was ever one that you wanted to listen to, this is the one. So make sure, get a couple of people on, and let's just have an epic chat tonight. We really get to go through a couple of things and see and chat to some cool people. I think we always chat to some really rad, vibey people, but we get to chat about the other side of hockey as well. You know, we're all there as players and about our team, but now the other aspect and see how the thoughts and the brains behind it, how they all put it together. And it's really, really exciting to get into it. So, Chukka 1, we're going to start off with Justin. Let's give us just a little bit. Let's make sure that I can actually get him on. It's kind of been a running joke that, what's a Chukka Chat without a little bit of technical difficulty? But it looks like we're on it. Durban is playing its part. Thank you, Wi-Fi. And let's get into it straight away. So let's get it going with Chukka 1 and see how it all goes down. What I'm imagining is a pretty rainy Cape Town. Justin, how's it going?
Hey, bud, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going really well here, thank you. You
Good
dressed up a little warmer than what we are down here. Is it pretty fresh down your side?
Yeah, listen, if I could pick the camera up and take you outside, it's been raining all day, but I think, it's been raining for maybe 4 or 5 days straight, so just getting used to it.
Has it been the classic like Hartleyville rain where it like hits you horizontally and you just absolutely wear it?
Just about to say Hartley gale coming in sideways, but it's been pretty cold, but I think it's good to try and fill the dams up.
Oh, definitely. Oh my gosh, I think we've been needing some good precipitation for a good while, and then stoked that it's finally there. Yeah. But just for those of us that don't know you, I mean, you have come onto the scene absolutely hot. Director of hockey at St. Cyprian's, and you run the entire program. You Western Province under 18 girls, silver medalist. Western Province under 21s. You are now currently coaching with the SA Ladies Training Squad, and you also run the HBH Hockey Academy, and you headed the coaching there. Man, this is epic, full-time program.
Yeah, listen, it's definitely keeps me busy. I'm actually a teacher by trade, so I yeah,
So
it's
thing.
sorry.
So you overachieve then. That's what
No,
you're
no,
saying.
no.
Eh?
I think we've if you've got enough energy in the day, you've got to put your front foot forward. But I'm lucky enough to be in a couple of really cool positions, and I think over the last 6 or 7 years, it's been pretty hard graft, but it's been a hell of an adventure. And like I said, just very fortunate and lucky.
Mm-hmm. And lucky to be in the home of hockey, or the so proclaimed by everyone in Western Province, the home of hockey. I think the rest of the country is not so happy about that. But you've got just a group of incredible guys around you constantly. Every time you go to an AstroTurf, you're coaching on the other side of the field. There is really a lot of good pedigree down there. And I mean, competition always breeds this epic energy, which makes us all just get better and better and better. What are some of the things that you really draw from that? Like, I mean, when you're directing your program at the school, what are some of the key things you're focusing on and getting going there?
I think for me, I grew up in the old school. There's no school like the old school. But listen, I mean, the days you and I used to play IPTs in grade 8 back on the grass. I think the game has developed so quickly. I think for me, I try and use some old school principles and some new school principles and mix those together. I am very lucky to have some really Yeah, well structured, well renowned coaches around, like Clarkey and them, which has been really cool, and really grateful to work with guys like that. But I think for me, I probably draw a lot of energy and vibe from working alongside some of the really strong coaches. And I think provincially we've also been quite lucky to have really strong players, really strong coaches, and a very strong tradition. But also, I think, Johns, with the school setup, where we are all now really pushing to do really well, and the principle-based stuff is coming in, and more video analysis. It's been, like I said, a hell of a journey, but I think it's just started, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's epic, and a lot more to come. Definitely, I think. Yeah, a whole heap more in the game, which is epic. Yeah, and I mean, you've been working a lot, obviously, through school and the junior setup. If we got, I mean, we can see we got a whole lot of our junior athletes here. Can you come up with one or two things from a junior player, like someone that's up and coming, that really excites you, that you can see in a player and you go, yes, I really dig that. That is something. What are the things that stand out for you that are really key?
I think I've worked quite heavily on the girls and the women's side of the game, but I think naturally, if we see someone that can, really, run past someone. I know that sounds very basic, but if you're sitting in the stand watching a game of hockey, and there's a 14, 15, 16-year-old girl that can really like break the line and break some ankles moving forward, I think. For me, a lot of the really good players of the last 2-3 years at IPT have been the players that can really run through the line, carry the ball with speed. But then, we always forget about the defensive end of things. So I think also being a massive soccer fan and watching a lot of football, it's always good to see a box-to-box midfielder, someone that kind of means a lot to the team without them knowing.
Yes,
and it's been quite fun to watch and be part of training programs where, it's always lucky to have a couple of kids that can hit the ball in the top corner when they're 12, 13 years old. But it's always cool to watch kids that are wanting to create vibe and buy into principles. And I think those are things that we shouldn't be looking past, because when you do get to the top, there might be 15, 20, 30 people that can do what you can do. But do you bring something special to the team? So yeah, in a nutshell, I think players that can carry the ball well, and that can break seams, but at the same time can also, put in a shift when you're a man or two down, or things aren't going well. The coach can really rely on that player to step in and be that box to box player. I think for me, that's been quite cool to see and to watch.
That's awesome. And how much of that for you is we've got an abundance of talents in the country? How many of that is like, this kid's epic, they've kind of come through the lines, they're just doing it? And how much is it, well, yes, this kid's worked exceptionally hard physically and he's merged it well with his technical capabilities, and that's the thing which drives them along? Or we kind of just going, yeah, you epic, come, let's go. You epic, you come, let's go. What's the balance point there? Because I think as coaches, the same thing you're saying, like, you do want kids and players to have the ability to have that little bit of flair, which they can change games, but there also has to be an element of structure to it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the structures that have been put into place, so whether players are 13, 14, all the way through, I think identifying those players and then saying, okay, cool, you've got something unique, but what about this? And I think that's where strong coaching comes into play, and we are very blessed to have strong coaches in all the different age groups, on the boys side of the game and the girls side of the game. And listen, that's a really good question. I don't know if there's a tipping point for each player, but maybe working in the sort of junior setup, it's been really cool to see players that can come through and really catch your eye. But then from then on, like forwards, you've got to then say, hey, listen, okay, cool, you're good at these 3 or 4 or 5 things, but how hard do you work on the off season? Are you running up and down this hill? And then also working with them from a mental perspective, because I think our country's sort of natural brand of hard-working hockey is something that I don't think we should replace for anything in the world. And if we can just add on to that, especially with the young players coming through, it's something that's very cool. But sure, Johnson, it's a good question. And I think everyone will have a different answer. But for me, identifying players at a young stage and getting them into a good program where in an academy or at a school or at a provincial level, they can be developed really well under good guidance. And again, it's that on-field and off-field perspective that I really buy into, you know. So, yeah, you might be able to score 57 goals in a season, but, you know, are you there when the chips are down, and are you willing to run that extra yard for your team? That for me really counts.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the thing which I always try and paint the picture to everyone is that it's epic being really good at school, it's epic being really good in A-team, but there's provincial, and there are a lot of really good provincial players. And guess what? When you get to national level, there are a lot of really good players there. And then when we step onto the big stage, this is even better. And what are we doing to make sure that we are, exactly like you're saying, we're never going to be adverse to working hard. We are going to be that. It's ingrained in our culture. But what are the small gaps that we are filling? So we take in the little bits that we like from all these different countries and saying, cool, that's what I want to work on. This is what's going to take us in. Just keep on going and molding us and taking us through all of it. Yeah. And then, and a lot of this, I mean, you would have seen this, obviously, coming as one of the trainers into the junior setup, and you're working with Inky, you're working with Rob and all that. What are some of the cool things that you've taken from that experience? Because we all learning every environment that we're in and we're growing. What's been some of the exciting things from there that you've taken away?
I think, you know, working under Rob and working under Inky, and then also working alongside a couple of other trainers has been, look, firstly, it's been an incredible experience and, you know, highly honored. But the things that I've taken away, absolutely, number one is attention to detail. So the things that you might look past, maybe here with my home team, whereas they spend way more time, for lack of a better word, they spend more time fussing about the little things, which I find to be very, very exciting, because now I can come home and fuss over the little things, like your left foot was in the wrong spot there, or that pocket didn't close quick enough, or, you know. So the first thing that really blew me away was the attention to detail, which I really enjoyed. And then secondly, the amount of more attention using video. So, you know, each player watching themselves train, or watching game footage, and you know, watching coded sections of the game just where they received the ball or made a tackle. Listen, it's just that little, you know, extra step now. We've managed to, you know, for me, I've managed to climb a certain mountain and get off the plateau into the next step. But definitely for me, the fussing over the finer details, especially in set piece play, has been quite cool. And then, yeah, the use of video analysis has been really unbelievable. Yeah.
That's it. It's the small percentages are really what makes the difference. It's the 0.5% here, it's the 1% there, which translates into 5 meters of far post tip in a, you know, special moment where we get on it defensively. It's really what it is, and focusing on those moments, it makes the difference. And I'm glad that you brought up the video analysis, because I'm really, really stoked to go and chat to the guys from Enhanced Sport, which I'm sure you see every weekend, and across every IPT you've had to work with them. But with that, I am going to have to say goodbye, because we're going to run out of time before chatting to everyone. But just thank you so much for taking time out to chat to us. It's been epic. It's been so good, and I know everyone's loved hearing it. And I know we're going to see huge things from you down in the Cape and across the country coming up. And look forward to seeing you on the side of the pitch sometime soon.
Thanks, Bud. Thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
No, awesome stuff. Cheers, dude.
Cheers, guys.
Oh man, that has just been absolutely epic. I mean, Justin is, yeah, you can see the thoughtfulness that he places around everything he does, and he's chatting and going through it, and that's what you want from a coach, isn't it? You want someone who is that focused on helping the individual get better as much as the team get better. And that's something that really, really excites me as, you know, as a player and then seeing that getting translated into, helping other players. Oh man, that's so exciting. But this is the one that we've been waiting for. Not to say that Chuck is 3 and 4 anywhere near it, but this is incredible to have a current ladies national coach on air, ready to have chat and really engage. Is gonna be epic. So let me see if I can get Rob van Ginkel on board and just get him ready to chat. We just need to make sure that he does go ahead and actually request to come and join the chat. So it makes it a little bit easier for me to find him. But there he is there. So here we go with Robin van Ginkel. Man, oh man. Hey, there it is.
Jonty,
what's happening?
how you, man?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Except I'm a little bleak that we didn't get you down to Durban early in the year, so I could get you on the ice and we could have a little ice hockey game and get it going.
We need a game. We need a game. It will happen. It will happen.
We definitely need to get it going. For everyone out there, obviously we know Rob's is an incredible coach, and we're going to touch on that now. But for some of you that don't know, Rob, you were an SA lifesaver as well as an inline hockey player for both codes. That's incredible. Oh my word.
Roller hockey, not inline, roller hockey. But
roller hockey, my bad.
But yeah, we're going to get onto that ice soon and play a different form of the game, eh?
Oh, very excited. Sure, that'll be absolutely incredible. But with this whole thing, you've obviously had an incredible coaching background. You've come through from doing a lot of provincial stuff. You were with the SA men's side as a trainer for a stage. I was lucky enough to work with you through that. You went on to national assistant coach. You worked with Paul Revington at the Delhi Wave Riders. You worked with Craig Fulton for a stage. What have been some of the things which stood out for you getting to where you are now to be able to move forward and really move the SA Ladies program forward, because it's an exciting time, which we're going to chat about in a moment here?
Yeah, I think, briefly, it's been a hell of a journey. I think, being a sports scientist first, as a profession, involved with a lot of teams, being under 18, under 21, national, and then, some of the international teams. But I guess the Indian Hockey League really, convinced me that this was the right path and what I should be doing. I was a sports scientist and an assistant coach there. Then the third year I was there with Revs and just grown in that role and got the international experience, and obviously really honored to be, after all of that, be the ladies coach. And hopefully what I've learned, and both physically and as a coach, with all the experience, now put it into a team and drive a program.
Yeah, and a program which we've seen take huge strides already. We were talking about some of your experience. You were part of with the Austrian men's team for a while at the Euros, and if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, you helped keep them in Division 1 for the first time ever. They didn't sort of ping pong up and down. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, so we played in the Euros. We had Holland and Belgium in our pool, which was incredible. And we got taught some proper lessons. But we managed to beat Spain, and we drew to Ireland, and it was enough to keep us in the A section of the Euros.
That is unbelievable. And working with some awesome guys there as well, just some exceptional talents. That's awesome. And now you get to translate it back into what we're doing here with the ladies team, where you've got some incredible talent to work with. I mean, we've been lucky enough to interview some of them. We're talking about Lisa, we're talking about Tati, KP. You can go across to Taryn Glasby, Celia Evans, Pums in your goals. You've got incredible players. In your mind, what's the thing which is going to take this huge group of talent and really mold it and take it to the place where South Africa are really comfortable being a top 8 to top 6 team at every major tournament they go to?
Yeah, tough question, and we could spend a lot of time. But I think in a nutshell, I think the balance is really important, and we've got young and really exciting players coming through the groups, with some really experienced players who you can't buy that, and that experience just takes us all the way. So, some of the players you've mentioned, and it's almost unfair to name other players. I
Yes,
mean,
yeah.
there's just
I
so
was
many.
thinking
But
I've left a good
but
few out.
yeah,
Gonna be
but I think
mad.
that balance is crucial. And then on the world stage, as you said, it's those small differences, and we really, I think for the first time in a long time, we've got our short corner defense really pumping. You yourself are a first wave runner, and we've got that right. We're scoring some PC goals on the international stage, and that really helps us. Yeah, we got some great goalkeepers. We've got great defense. We've got go forward with speed and pace, which we can build a brand of hockey on. To counter attack and go with pace and defend and problem solve. So, all in all, yeah, I mean that's a big question, but I think what's really important is to have not only the good players, and our team is now undergoing a process where we're actually going to start now with redesigning our culture in the team and what it means to be a South African hockey player, and how we want to be known to the public and how South Africa should see us as a team and to make the country proud. And if we can get that right and be those ambassadors for the sport in South Africa and absolutely love what we're doing, I think it's a pretty cool recipe for us to do well.
Oh, 100%. I think you put all those things together. You've got this incredible staff which you've put together, and you're looking, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 8 to 12 strong across the country, really developing things. You've got this huge pool of talent and one of the things that sticks out, not that it was not a thing in the past generation, but we've got some exceptionally physically capable athletes and technically capable. You've got goal scorers, you've got huge defenders, you've got outletters, you've got the whole mix. And, to put that, and on top of, really working with an incredible sponsor, which has allowed you to put a great program together. I think we can give them a little punt now in a bit, but it's really this sort of melting pot to help us go forward and make a huge change in the country. So, yeah, that's really, really exciting times.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yes.
No. So I was going to say, you're right in putting all of that together. Allows the players the freedom to play. And as you said, physically, we've really focused on our physical capability to compete with international teams that are professional. The one thing we can control is our fitness. And for anyone watching out there, just be the fittest version of yourselves, because that will give you an opportunity to play. And if you could be a great hockey player, but if you can't cope physically, you're in a whole bunch of trouble, especially when you need to dig deep and go that bit further. So we have really focused to be able to physically compete on the international stage. And we're going to bring that physicality. We're going to bring that South African passion of fighting spirit and hopefully run a couple teams off the park.
Yeah. And I mean, in the last couple of big performances, I don't want to say outside of Africa, but you look at the last couple of games against Spain, the margins are becoming so fine. And Justin was chatting about it earlier, and how that attention to detail, that when that half little corner, that 0.5% turns, man, it's going to be hella exciting to get that going. And you mentioned, we were talking so much about the physicality and all that, and we look at the Australian women, let's call it like 10 to 15 years ago, and what they brought to the game, and how Charles Worth did huge things with them, and that's changed the game. You look at the Dutch and Argentinians being super technical and what they brought to it. In your mind, going forward for the next 5 years, what's going to be the thing that kind of defines the game? I think obviously the introduction of Chukkas has been something exciting and has changed the way we look at the game. What in your mind is going to be the next thing which really makes a difference in our sport as a whole?
So for hockey or for the South African team?
Let's go for hockey, and then we can go for the South African team. We'll go for hockey in general.
Yeah, so I think the world trend at the moment is a lot of people are now playing with the idea of a zonal hockey. I think, man to man's always been there, and it's physical and it's fast, and you look after your player. But the way teams have developed and what they're doing on the field, I think zonally is where it's going. I also think the teams that can adapt on the fly, so you start with a full press, you need to go to half, you go a goal up, what's our plan? You go a goal down, what's our plan? And it's everyone really executing that at the same time on the field and doing it correctly. So, I think, it's a pity we didn't have the Olympics this year, but I think it would have been a different Olympics to watch because of the different trends that would have come out of it. They've made the auto pass. They've made, you know, it live as quick as possible. They've, you know, with this team substituting every 2 to 3 minutes now at international level from an intensity point of view, everyone's just trying to raise the bar to play this as quick as possible. And I think, and because it's not 35 minutes and it's Chukkas, you know, you give it everything for 15 minutes and then you have a breather and you like reset, where the 35-minute game was kind of survival, and you get through it and you maybe chuck something at the end of the half or you start the next half. With the Chukkas, I think it's just increased the intensity, and I think, as I said, that speaks more to my physical part, where to survive you're going to have to bring it, otherwise you're not going to be able to cope.
Yeah, and bring it every moment. There's no opportunity to make a small error here, a half missed judgment because you kind of 2 yards behind it. Yeah, you've really got to be on it. And I'm glad you brought up or just touched on the Olympics, because obviously you know that this question was going to come being a big one. And we actually spoke to, when we were chatting to Lisa a couple of weeks ago, what are the thoughts around obviously 2020 Olympics getting played in 2021? It gives what is essentially quite a young squad. I mean, you've got huge amounts of experience, but a young squad gives you an extra, let's call it potentially 8 months to go and develop as a squad. Do you think it's going to have positive impact, negative impact? How's the next 8 months going to play out for you? Sorry, it's a little bit more than that, but the 200 days.
So there's two sides to it. I think from a player point of view, it's been a hell of a roller coaster and really tough. I mean, you know, most of the players were in their peak condition, ready to, you know, 3 months out of an Olympics, and in a cycle where they've got ready, you know, to be told, look, it's a year later is a big knock. And, you know, then you've got to push the reset button and say, okay, well, everything I did, I've got to do again. So I think once you've got past that and the players can see the positive, which is what I see, is, you know, last year we only found out November, early December that we're actually going to the Olympics. So we really, in effect, had 6 months to prepare, and people had to change their lives and sort everything out. And I guess with the postponement, the positive is that we could run another program like we did. So, you know, after 20 international games, we could now have 50 international games before going to the Olympics. So for a country that doesn't play many internationals, the extra is good for us. We just need to make sure that those teams come and we play lots of games leading up for 2021. But I think South African hockey as a whole, I think we'll be more ready and more prepared to take the stage a year later. With dealing with the reset, I think we're going to be in a good space next year this time.
Yeah, I think everyone's so excited about where the ladies' game is at the moment. It's incredible, and a little bit of extra prep time, you know, some good funding. It's really exciting. That's going to be epic, and we look forward to see it all come together in the end. And we're talking about some of your players and all the rest. Has the change had a bit of an impact on the squad, like a couple of individuals? I know everyone will still be available and still pushing, but would there be a thing where maybe a couple of other girls would have a look in or something like that? Has that changed at all, or are we still we're working with this group and we bought into it and we're going forward? How are you dealing with it?
So unfortunately, unfortunately, the selection process starts again. So we will have a selection camp in December. We will announce a squad and we'll work through with that squad again. So yes, largely it'll be the same group and we will gain more experience. But it definitely opens the door for other players to put their hands up that maybe were injured, had a bad season, you know what I mean, find some form again and put some pressure on some players. But it's not the team that was going to go to this Olympics that will go to the next one. We are in a squad, and I think the squad will have a selection camp, and the best team, the most informed team, will be selected to try and go and make South Africa proud on the stage.
Yeah, they definitely will. I think that's 100% going to happen just through everything that everyone's putting in the background and what they will put on the field. That'll be awesome. But Rob, we slowly coming to the end. Two more questions. Maybe the one's a little bit harder to answer, but who has been your most exciting player to coach? Have you got one that really stands out in your mind? It can be anything that you've done before overseas or domestically. Is there anyone, and can you give us a reason why?
Yeah, internationally, I think I'm going to go with Benjamin Stanzel. For all the soccer nerds out there, Benny is probably the most gifted hockey player I've ever coached. Fascinating. He plays with the straightest stick that you've ever seen in your life. He has no bow on it. He is just silky smooth and just a leader in every way. Marcelle says me, but it's not you, Marcelle. And so Benny Stanzel. And then from an excitement point of view, yeah, I think it'll be unfair to single out a South African player. I think there are many exciting ones, and I think there's also many exciting ones in different positions. So, you know, from the outlet, it's super exciting. In the midfield, we've really got players that can take the game to the opposition. And then we've got some goal scorers and some fiery players that can turn the ball over and go on a counter-attack with some super speed. So for me, yeah, if we're going to speak internationally, from a drag flicking point of view, Rupinder Pal Singh from India, he was probably one of my favorites to watch and coach. From a goalkeeper point of view, Nicholas Jacobi from Germany, he was our keeper. And then Benny Stanzel, I was with him in India and I was with him in Austria. And yeah, he stands out. He's pretty special.
Yeah, he truly is a special player. And if anyone watching doesn't know who that is, do yourself a favor and do a lot of YouTubing, whether it's on the indoor court or sort of outfield for Harvesterhood and Austria. He's crazy special. And then, Rob, fun one, just to kick it off. Has there been a highlight in your coaching career that stands out for you and that you always look back with the fondest memory and go like, that's the reason why I do this. This is the thing which stands out. Do you have one of those moments that really jumps out at you?
Yeah, I think, sure. I don't know if it's one moment, but I think what I love doing as a coach is creating an environment for players to be successful. And then after the hard work, you know, we get the reward. So when I took the Wanderers men, you know, after 2 years, we were winning the leagues and we were right up there with Wanderers. I then went to the University of Johannesburg, and with a team that fought for relegation a couple of years before, you know, 2 years later, we won Varsity Sport, USA, and the league. And that was special. So it's maybe not one moment, but it's taking a group of players and buying into something as a team and then coming through the other side and doing well, you know. And after UJ, I've gone to Crusaders and we've won the league for 2 years in a row. And I think for me, that's coaching. It's taking players, working with players, creating something special that we all buy into. And then obviously being the national coach, you know, singing the anthem before the game, as you know, is always special. And when you get to that stage where you can sing your anthem, you can play for your country, or I coach for the country, but the players play, and we get something out of that. Yeah, that's probably the highlight. And again, the same thing. Where can we get this team to, and what can we buy into to make the country proud?
To make it proud. Oh, that is incredible. Robs, thank you so much, dude, for coming on and chatting to us. It has been an absolute treat, and I'm very certain everyone that's been watching has thoroughly enjoyed some of your insights and going on to it. And we really wish you all the best, you and the team, all the best for the next sort of 9 months or so. And we know that you're going to do incredible things and really make the country proud. So thank you so much for taking the time to come and chat to us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And you're going to see the viewership's going to go up now with Marcelle coming online. Eh?
Oh, 100%. That's like actually the only reason we invited her.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, enjoy it. Good luck. Ciao.
Awesome. Cheers. Oh, man. That was just awesome. Man, just eye-opening and mind-blowing, and sort of his willingness to really give us insights into where his head at and the program and going forward is so exciting. And you can see the passion he has for the game. and the passion he has for the ladies side in particular and what he's wanting to do. And I mean, if you follow any of the girls in the program, you see what they're doing with their conditioning, you see the technical stuff, and you see all the work that they do in and around their camps. It's really incredible. So we know that SA hockey, and we can talk ladies and men, are in such a good place at the moment. And going forward, we're going to be incredible. And SA hockey is going to be the thing people are going to start talking about more and more. And Flip, we can't wait to have it. And while we are on that, we can jump straight into the person who's been working alongside Rob, but also the one that's responsible for making the transition from these talented players that we have at school level and making sure that they develop into our future stars and future athletes. And let's see if I can get Marcelle, because she is right here, to come on and come and join us for Chukka 3. Let's see if he's... Hey! What's happening?
What's up, Jones? How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good.
Better that you are a little bit closer to KZN.
I know.
A little move up to finance.
I know, it's been a plan coming along.
Oh, that is super, super excited. I'm fortunate enough to, obviously, work with your sister, and she's been so stoked that the family's a little bit closer, and everything's slowly falling into place. Now we just need to get Sam. I know.
That's the best. Thank you, Taryn, for calling me a MILF. That's lovely. Thank you very much. But Jonty, who's your favorite Keet though, eh?
Oh my goodness, you can't put me on the spot like that. That's absolutely ridiculous. I can't answer that. I think I'm
You're putting us on the spot.
Oh, but I think for those of us that don't know, that are watching, I mean, we talk about the Keats. We talk about just absolute legends. We got 3 sisters that went to a water polo World Cup representing South Africa. You and Leanne both representing the SA ladies team across World Cups and Commonwealth Games. What's in the water down at East London there? Was it something that like through Selborne?
Yeah, I promise you, I keep telling everybody the best kept secrets are in good old slum town East London. I tell you. We can't give away the secret though, so.
Oh, is it? So you actually have to just go there, visit. And then
I think it's got to do with the same mom and dad though.
Oh, is that
genetic.
Oh, my word. But Keats, I mean, as you can see, you are, and I mean, we went to varsity together, so we definitely know this, is you've always been the life of the party and just such a vibrant person. And everyone says that you've translated that into the way that you coach, and you just manage your team so well. Is that something that just happened? Or is Morgie just giving you
Yeah, Morgie needs a wee, so he's just trying to tell us all he needs to wee. He'll come in, he'll come onto the screen just now. But yeah, John's you know, when you love something so much, and when the sport has brought you so much, I think it's so easy just to it's so easy to just translate it into my coaching, and I'm from hockey, and I learned so much that I can it's really it's giving back all the passion. You got me. Yeah, it's you know, why not? I mean, yeah.
Oh, that is epic. And I mean, you know, chatting to some of the girls that played under you at the Blythe Bunters PHL 2018, when you won that, there was such a highlight. You could see the sort of like tangible passion and love for the team that was going into it. And everyone said, like, you know, that's the thing. And, you know, being that tournament, I want to say, I mean, you've been doing some incredible coaching, but that was the tournament that really sort of kick-started everything that has now happened over the last couple of years. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, like, it was you will know the transition playing international hockey, and then you find yourself now at like almost like you're retiring, and then, you know, where do you go from that? And I think it's a quite a dark place as a player, because that really becomes your whole life. You know, it's your family, it's your hockey family. So here's Morgie.
Hey Morgie, what's up, dude?
Say hi. Mommy? Mommy, I love you. Yeah, so you know, transitioning from an international player into the coaching, it was absolutely amazing. And especially at that tournament, I was lucky enough to work with like Lindsay Wright, who's just, I mean, she's amazing. And then through my career, I was blessed to have like the most incredible coaches. So I find it like I'm just basically just sharing the knowledge that I was luckily allowed to just soak in all the time. But I am so lucky for that transition because, as you know, I'm a team player and I need to be I need to be involved in any way possible. So yeah, that just ignited the fire, and obviously I'm learning every single coaching experience, and I just want to gain more and more confidence and knowledge going forward. So yeah, that started a little scratch, and now I'm a little itch, and now I'm scratching it.
And scratching, and now you hooked. And look, I think hockey in the country is for the better for it, and it's super, super exciting. And you say you're drawing off all this knowledge. Is there anything across your sort of polo, international career, and hockey, the sort of transition of knowledge or tactics or anything, something that you can take across both that sort of is unique to what you do at all?
I think definitely like mentality wise, I think you know what was awesome also in South Africa, you could say that like water polo being like a Cinderella sport, you know, so you know you got to have a lot of determination. It's pretty much you're in it with your teammates, and you are just you don't stop training. It's you against the world, and that mentality definitely comes through in the hockey. You know, it's like it's you and your teammates, and it gives you such a passion for the game and playing for your country and stuff. And I think just being able to share both of those sports was it was a dream come true, and I'm actually so grateful I managed to do both of them. So yeah, it was amazing that they jumped from, you know, once the one was going badly, the other one was going well, and just kind of kept me sane. It kept giving me like passion to do more, and just
keep on going.
Yeah,
that is epic. And I mean, you mentioned, you know, talking about translating this into this passion, and now you, the ladies under 21 coach, and you've got the opportunity to guide and mold the next generation of under 21 players. This is super exciting. And what's sort of in your mind the background, one of the key things that you're like, these steps right in order to kind of fit this?
Well, let me just fix that. Which is absolutely so awesome. I'm coaching the under 18 girls, and then my good buddy and I, Lenice Marais, she's the head coach of the under 21s. Yes.
Sorry, I've made that horrible
I'm
mistake.
working with her, and it's so incredible. I mean, her and I played like over 100 caps together. So it's like working with my old teammate. but now we get to mentor all the players, all the experiences that we went through, all the structures we learned, all the, you know, the good and the bad that we went through, you know, we can pass on now to these under 21 players. And yeah, I'm so fortunate to be able to you know, give back to these players, and these players coming through are hot. They are awesome. So much talent is just getting oozed through.
It's absolutely bonkers. I mean, I think you're fortunate to be in sort of Maritzburg, Hilton area, where we've got a whole heap of that going down. And, you know, looking back now, you're going, I was only able to do this a couple of years ago. How can you do this as like a little 16, 17-year-old? It's just absolutely bonkers.
It is, and it's just because like the kids are exposed to, I mean, they're watching online. I mean, they can watch and they can gain tutorials and webinars, and they're just getting like fed all of this amazing knowledge, where we would only be like grateful to like see an international game every once in a while come visit South Africa. Now the kids are exposed to the best of the best. I mean, you can just like click onto old RBG's favorite Benny and go watch a game, and it's just like, there's documentaries of Luciana Amar. I mean, she's like one of the best. Ava de Goede. I mean, you know, engaged to one of our, they say, men hockey, you know, so like it's just incredible. There's so much for the kids to get passionate about and for them to visually see, and then they just go out into the turf and, you know, just go and play around. So I mean,
go and do it,
and they just do it, yeah. So it's
and
great.
I mean, it's, you know, we spoke with Rob and everyone earlier about how everyone, you know, really has got this culture of working hard, and then you translate that and add on the opportunity to do something sick and exciting, and you're like, well, I'm going to keep on doing this until I get this right, until it's the raddest thing ever.
Exactly.
And boom, this talent is kind of like developing itself, and now it's just the little percentages,
And then, basically, we're just tweaking these youngsters. I was just on a Zoom chat with the SAHP under 17 group, like right now. So I mean, John, so if you think back to our SA under 16, which was like just the other day.
Yesterday.
Just the other day. If you can think back to us being SA under 16, SA under 17, I mean, when did we ever have the opportunity to have tactical chats with our coaches, to look at video and to discuss the different like technical aspects of how to make tackles? I mean, you know, how to do a press, how to do different structures. These kids are just talking the terminology, they're walking the walk, they're talking the talk. You know, it's just, and now all we as coaches, I mean, the passion's already there. We just have to mold them in the right direction.
Yeah, mold it and direct it and say, keep on going with what you're doing. This is awesome. Yeah. And then seeing that we're talking about sort of the progression from under 18s to under 21s, what do you think is going to be the thing which kind of keeps a lot more people in the game? Because we've the huge fall off of talent as soon as everyone sort of like leaves school, leaves varsity. What do you think we can do to sort of tweak that dynamic and make sure that we just keep more people involved in the game?
So filling that little gap.
Yes,
So I think the man that was just on the Chukka 2, I think he has done an amazing job. Number one, because they are going to Tokyo. So Olympics plays a huge part in it. So everybody has a dream now that is attainable and they can work towards it. And so that keeps that generation now working towards something. And then the next thing is that, you know, the kids, they've got so many opportunities. You know, there's Varsity Cup that's become massive. The sponsors are huge. So the sponsors of like the ladies team, I'm talking as like the ladies perspective.
Yeah,
the ladies have got super group on board. So, you know, there's like a massive, like, they're looking after the players. So when you're 18 and you look at your career going forward, you like look and you think, okay, well, wow, these ladies are going to Tokyo, and they, you know, there's under 21 World Cup in South Africa next year. It's in Potchefstroom. I mean, that is just like, if anything, if you are a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old in primary school and you get to like have the opportunity to go watch some of the best junior players in your backyard. I mean, so
right, yeah.
There is a plan and there's a dream, and then there is a journey for these players. So I think South African hockey is getting momentum and getting passion back in, and I think that you know, it's just mainly just like putting passionate people in place to keep this like dream alive.
Yeah, and just keep that machine ticking over and rolling. And I think that the cool thing having, I mean, when you look back and you go, what were the things everyone wants to do as soon as they leave school? Well, it used to be, I want to go to school, play for S121, play for South Africa, go overseas. But now all of a sudden, well, we've got PHL. Indoor and outdoor IPT is epic, you know, and then we've got the opportunity to still go and play overseas, and Bulgatex Elite Club tournaments and all these things. There's just so much more added excitement and opportunities for people to express their talents and be in these awesome team environments and go forward.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and that's a huge thing for like players now. I mean, getting the opportunity now to showcase that the varsity has become so competitive too, which is amazing. And so, and they get to, you know, go to PHL, like you said, build themselves a CV and work, you know, and they can chase their hockey dream. They can like go overseas and play. So, you know, it's like, it's endless. It's really exciting. It's really exciting for the youngsters out there, and they've got something to work towards. There's a journey in place for them.
Just make sure that we still keep painting the picture and the path and the map, so that they know that there is that end goal, and we don't just get sidetracked and sort of get lost in the world and jobs and all this stuff. Because as we've got so many incredible players that have the ability and are doing both. They can have a full life and have a whole career, and not just cutting it short after like 50, 70, 80 caps. Guys that are going through until 250 caps, like Lisa, and players like that. That's incredible, and just making sure we can help nurture them along this pathway is
exactly. That's like super special, and that's just to Lisa. I mean, that's 250 plus caps. That just shows you that, like the love of the game and why you're playing the game. If she was let's say an SA rugby player or an SA cricketer, she would have been like set up for life and beyond, playing 250 caps. I mean, like, but that just shows you that there's something special about like the sport we play. So
and it is, I think, it's the people in the sport, and they're also passionate enough, because we have to work so hard, and it's always against the odds. We've got this incredible like subculture that just everyone's so stoked about, and the hockey community is just absolutely epic.
There's nothing like a good RPT catch up and a PHL catch up and all those league catch ups. It's really the best. It's like our family.
Night Naught is an awesome place to catch up.
Yes.
But we're slowly running out of time. I need to ask some of the important questions. We came across some chat, and it's about this sort of planned marriage that is apparently in place between Morgs and Cam. That's on its way.
That's right. Well, I mean, let me just bring in this chap. Morgie, come here. So, Robin has to accept my lobola for his daughter. Yeah, look at this fine specimen.
Look at that hunk.
Look at this hunk. This is pure genetics right here.
Oh.
Yes, so he needs to accept my proposal. Yeah, unfortunately, the size and shape that he's looking at, he will either be a dynamic defender out the back, outletting with some powerful overheads and slaps, or he's going to be a front row rugby player.
Yeah, not just this mammoth sort of managing the whole and absolutely just.
Yeah, and also definitely in the water polo pool, he'll fit right in there.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, Marcelle, thank you so much for chatting. It's been epic catching up. Man.
Thanks so much, John. Love the soccer, love our brand, love our lifestyle, loving these Chukka Chats.
Oh, it's been so good. Get to just chat with incredible people like yourself. Oh, blessed, I'm telling you. It's epic.
Thanks, John.
Anyway, Keet, it'll be awesome to catch up sometime when you're in Durban. It'll be so cool.
Definitely.
Definitely awesome. Bye, Morgie. Awesome.
Thanks, John.
Cheers, Keet.
Bye-bye.
What an absolute treat. Oh, my goodness. I think what we're going to have to do, though, is because we've only got about 3 minutes left, and I definitely want to chat to Robert Goslett from Enhanced Sports. Sure, the guys behind the camera that do all the magic. So what we're going to do is make sure you hang around. I'm going to end this live chat real quick, start up another one, get Gozzy on, and let's chat about all the magic which happens behind the camera and what goes into it, and definitely a lot about Enhanced Sports and the exciting partnership that they've got into with Osaka, and that's going to be so rad. Okay, so hang around, give me a minute. I'm going to restart this chat, and we'll be on in a second. See you guys in a bit. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Hey. Okay, so there we are. The most ridiculous thing, obviously, end the chat, start getting on to another one, and busy scrolling across. I'm like, where's this damn live chat? Why am I just seeing like filters for Harry Potter and blah, blah. Jonty, you being an absolute idiot, go down, find live, get onto it, and we can go from there. So let's dive right into it. What an exciting one, I think, for everyone that's been to any major tournament around the country. Let's say in like the last 5-10 years, these guys have been there, and Rob Goslett is part of the brainchild that sort of really started this.
And let's get him on straight away over here, because it's going to be just absolutely epic chatting to him. A little bit about
Oh, just lost you. How's it?
Gozzy, what's happening, bro?
Yes, bro. I see Sally went over extra time there and cut me out. That's amazing.
Dude, I'm sorry. I got so excited. I mean, chatting away with everyone there. I mean, we could have gone on the whole evening. I think my Wi-Fi router might explode in the middle of the but
What a time.
Yeah. So, number 4, dude. How's everything going down your side of the world?
So what I do want to start with is Sally says that a hockey match is won in Chukka 3, won or lost. But Chukka 4 is where it gets spicy, bro. You can take the keeper, or you can take the keeper off. You can, oats are tired. It's amazing.
So essentially that's where the magic happens, eh?
Yeah, so Cape Town, bit of rainy weather, but I live opposite ends to JG, so it rains in the southern suburbs, but yeah, in the northern suburbs it's still nice, and you know, the sun's shining and we chilled out, yeah. So yeah, it's been good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you would be a little bit happier getting up into the stand behind the field to get behind the camera then, more than down other side of the world, eh?
Yeah, for sure, bro. And I was thinking about it about 2 days ago. One of my mates were like, yeah, you're on the Chukka Chat now, you're going to be in front of the camera, not behind. So I was like, yeah, it's a bit of a tough ask, but I'm in.
A little change, but luckily, you know, definitely not the case. Space for radio, eh? Just
yeah, fair. I had to go
behind.
get a haircut before I came on, yeah.
Yeah, luckily salons are still open, or have been allowed to get on and go from there.
Yeah.
Because let's chat some of the important things. I mean, I think everyone really knows a fair bit about enhanced sport and what you guys are doing there. Do you want to give us a little brief overview and say what sort of like the heart of it is, and what do you guys really do?
Yeah, so John, I think in 2011 I actually started working at a company called the Misco, and in Cape Town, and they sort of looked after the professional teams in the PSL and teams all around the world. And I'll never forget, my first game I was coding for them was Real Madrid Barcelona, and it was like insane. It's like you touch the ball left foot, you have to code it, and then like onto the right foot you're coding. So it was insane. And then I thought I was there for a few months, and that's where I saw sort of the space to look after almost schools and, you know, the amateur clubs. So hit the road, bought the equipment, and started looking after the people that mattered, eh?
The people that mattered, yes. And my goodness, we thank you that you made that transition, because you've really been at every IPT for the last however long, every national tournament. It's been absolutely epic.
Yeah, I was actually sitting here. So on my wall here in the office, I actually got a shirt when you played in the 2016 Olympic qualifiers. So that was 2015. And it's been a journey. To be honest, I'm trying to hand over the ropes a bit, hand over the baton. So the guys that are working here in the office are sort of the guys that are doing more of the work now. But it's been amazing. And the hockey's taken me all over the world. And so we'll see next year, hoping to jump on the plane with the indoor guys to Belgium. So look forward to that.
Yes, that is going to be epic. And I'm sure you're definitely handing over the reins a little bit, because your body can only handle sort of so much caffeine and Red Bull and lack of sleep, eh?
Yes, it's unbelievable. I literally went, so the business is sort of split a bit, and we've got the video side and the hockey and the enhanced sports side, and now there's a media side with, there's a guy, Zaxon, he's got long hair like you, but longer, and he's rocking that show. Boy. And so I just went with him we did like this video for this eye doctor. And so while we were waiting, I said to the eye doctor, no, just check my eyes. And he looked through like the scope and whatever. And he's like, jeepers, your eyes are like rugby balls. And I was like, yeah, that's many, many thousands of hours behind the camera and behind the laptop.
Behind the laptop. Click, oh no, go back. And every time we go away to a tournament or something, and sort of you probably like last out the physio bed and you walk past and guys, you still their headphones in, just locked into the screen. Dick, try knocking them. Guys, individual clips already. No, relate.
Yeah, so to be honest, the lockdown's been amazing because it's given me some time away from the computer screen. So my eyes have been able to work a bit. So it's been great.
Just slowly adjust and get into it.
Yeah.
I think there's actually, we really weren't going to touch on too many questions here, but I think this one's absolutely golden. I want to jump into it. Central Samurais, what is the spiciest thing Ghazi has said by mistake while videoing?
So here's a cool story. So basically, I was videoing at men's IPT, men's and ladies, when they had combined probably like 3-4 years ago. But we were also doing video for Mpumalanga. And I was videoing for Province then, and we call the video tower Banter City. So when you come up there, you have to bring banter, and it's just to keep the guys alive. And my mate was playing for Province, and he came to the camera, and he like pretty much shouted at me, and he was like, "Jeepers, that was a cut game." And I was videoing at that stage for Mpumalanga, and when Mpumalanga were doing the video session, they put it on loud. The sound was on, and they heard this. They heard this, like my mate saying that this game was horrendous, and so Jonty, who works with us, Jonty Thomas, he walked into the video session to hand him something, and all these oaks just had a full go at him. And I was like, that's amazing. That is incredible.
That is awesome. Yeah, everyone trying to mute the mic as much as possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, we mentioned it earlier, and Rob spoke about it, and JG had a chat about it earlier. We were talking about video analysis and where it's really taking the game forward. What are your views? I mean, we've all had some coaches at different aspects of their stages where they're just like, paralysis by analysis, where they've over-analyzed things. What's the balance for you in that? Because I mean, it really is important to take a whole heap of data out of it and sort of check trends. What's the balance?
Yeah, I think over the years it's been crazy to see how different coaches sort of have been doing different things. But I think in terms of especially the high school kids, it's been about empowering them and them making the decisions. Or them on the field, they have to make, the on-field decisions within split seconds. So, in a video session when we're there telling them, X, Y, and Z, and they're nodding, but then they get onto the field and they do A, B, and C. So, it's been really about the high schools. We've been trying to, clip the stuff, give it to them. They're maybe clipping it for us. But the kids get sort of feeding back in the video session and, for them to understand better. So, we've seen that, over the past sort of few years, that's become a big thing, allowing the kids to sort of run the sessions. And then in terms of also like training or video trainings and, PC defense and sort of sitting with the kids straight afterwards, and we can, have a look at it and go redo it and tweak things. I think in terms of techniques as well, it's been massive. Like, working with like under 14s, especially, they come in there and they can't hit a ball properly, and then, videoing them, showing them 1 or 2 changes and A4 away. So, it's been incredible. And we talk about hockey, but we've, been all over the soccer, the water polo, everything. So it's been incredible.
That's awesome. So really branching out across all different sports. And the epic thing is, I mean, some of the kids, that's the way that people are learning how and engaging. It's, the sort of kinesic awareness might not be what it used to be 10, 15, 20 years ago. So it's I've got to see myself doing it, and then I can go, okay, cool, I recognize that now, and we can just make the transition to learning so much quicker by doing that.
Yeah.
And that's epic. Outside of all the like tactical and sort of work there. Yeah. But you guys have, I mean, it's so much more than that. You've got a absolutely thriving academy down sort of northern suburbs. You guys are based out in Fairmont, is that right?
Yeah, so we sort of run the academy in the first or the fourth term when it's off season. And it's been great. Fairmont have been amazing, and we've sort of targeted the kids as well that aren't, the national player or the provincial player. It can be kids that are, maybe an under 16 B team looking to make an under 16 A team the next year when they're grade 10. And we've sort of put the whole package together where, there's a gym side of it, there's the conditioning side, there's the technical side. We run off an app so the kids get their sort of footage on an app. We do video sessions on their technical skills. So it's been a monster, but keeps us really busy in the fourth term, which has been amazing.
Epic. And you guys are also involved with them and brought the first video referral system to a school tournament.
It was. It was really cool. So by fluke, Fairmont actually got a new scoreboard just before the tournament, and on the board there was a green, red, or green, yellow, and red light for the cards. So if you got a green card, and we were like, amazing, we're gonna use the green and red light as the referral buttons, and or the sort of if you got your referral or not. And so we tested it out in the. It was the semi-finals and the finals of the girls and boys sections, and it was really cool. There were a few that got sort of changed, and like a simple mistake where it hit somebody's foot and they didn't award the short corner and they could stop, and then refer it. So it was really cool, and we actually were in discussions with Balgatex to bring it to the league challenge this year, but obviously it didn't happen. So hopefully 2021 we'll be calling the timeout and going upstairs.
That is exciting. Oh my word. I mean, an already power tournament, just to have that add a little bit extra to make it a bit more spicy is epic. Oh, I'm so stoked to hear that. Look, that's exciting. We're going to keep on pushing that from our side 100%. That would be so rad. Oh my goodness. I've actually just lost my train of thought. Oh, I was going to say, it's so awesome to see that Osaka and Enhanced Sport in partnership together now. Look.
Listen, it's been, I think it's been way overdue. And it's been amazing to finally have joined forces, with Migs and Ricky and Taryn. They've been unbelievable. And it was like, we put this whole thing together and like, amazing, we're going to smash it. And then lockdown happened. So I sat outside meditating, waiting for lockdown to open up so they could send the stuff. So it's been incredible. And I think a really cool thing with the brand is, and I was actually discussing with a mate yesterday, was a lot of the soccer stuff. It's like it's a lifestyle, and you can go like hiking up Table Mountain, you can go to like Bryce, you can go surfing. Nobody knows it's a hockey brand. It's just like, it's so epic. So it's been incredible.
Too sick. It's been absolutely awesome. Oh man, that is very, very cool. And just going through all of it, I think everyone loves your guys' vibe as it is. I think you're never going to come across better dressed video analysis in the world ever. And even when it's 37 degrees Celsius, you'll still see Gozzy in his long tracksuit pants, long top, probably a bomber jacket as well. And you'll complain, no, there's wind up here, but you can't feel down there. I don't know how many times we've heard.
Listen, the conditions up there is always a lot different to downstairs. And it was pretty funny because just before lockdown, we played Paul Roos in like a preseason friendly. So Lungs and Ash, they all came through to Fairmont. But at that same stage, we had 4 coaches that had left to indoor IPT. So they asked me, like, I'm obviously the next guy to take the team from the tower into the coaching role. So I like stood there and I was like, I don't know what's going on here on our level. I need to get to the tower to see what's going on. So Yeah, bro, it's been this Osaka kit's amazing. I mean, the pants, the tops, it's been a step up in the gear, so it's been great.
Oh, that is epic. Well, looking forward to see you at the next tournament, wherever it is, whether it's across Volgatex, the next PSI tournament. So, I mean, you guys are pretty much at everything. So, yeah, that is absolutely epic. Oh, so good. Brilliant. Gozzy, dude, thank you so much. Please send huge regards to Jonty, Etienne, Zach, and all the boys doing all the magic behind the camera, bro. It's always a treat seeing you guys. And yeah, I think really some of the unsung heroes of what's happening across the country, because you've created access to a wealth of knowledge that wasn't there. And even if it's just the ability to reflect on stuff, it's really been epic and made a huge difference. You know, when we're in the national side doing our stuff there, and every IPT, it's really, really epic, bro. So thanks for
bro.
what you guys are doing and will continue doing in the future.
Beautiful. Thanks, bro. I will see you soon. Once lockdown's done.
When this damn lockdown is done, hopefully soon.
Amazing.
Cool.
Thanks, bro.
Gozzy,
keep well.
Awesome.
Cheers, bro.
Bye. So much. Cheers. Bye. Oh man, what a treat. Tonight has just been epic. I think, yeah, who I mentioned earlier, for all the hockey nerds out there, this was one for the hockey nerds. And to have people with a wealth of knowledge and just rad people to engage and interact with and show their passion is something too cool. And Keat's coming on, and you can just see the love for the game. That is so rad. Justin being calculated and thinking everything through and how he's trying to make sure that we constantly getting better. Rob van Ginkel doing absolute wonders with the ladies team, and his insight and how we're going to take the ladies game and just hockey in the country to the next level is so exciting. And we wish the SA ladies all the best in their prep going to the Olympic Games, and flip, we can't wait to see them there. It's going to be so awesome. And then Gozzy and all the guys and girls from Enhanced Sports, what a treat. And as we mentioned earlier, I think if you're a hockey player, you've definitely come across some of their work. And if you haven't, jump on YouTube, because there's so many epic things there. It is so, so cool. So fantastic. Guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. It's just been absolutely epic chatting. When we have our next one, we will engage a little bit more. I thought that tonight we just want to try to get a little bit more out of these coaches and these just epic players. So we'll make sure that we engage a bit more next time, and then we'll go from there. Okay. As always, stay safe, stay vibey, train hard, and we'll see you guys sometime soon. Awesome stuff. Cheers.